It's CUJO with a chimpanzee. Very much like Gordy from Nope, right? That great scene where Gordy goes crazy on the sitcom set. So the idea here, really straightforward. You see it from the 30-second spot. And I think it delivers exactly what you want out of it. And that's really as high a praise as you can give for a film like this, a B horror film. But just a little bit more on that. One thing that this film does that I really appreciate, it stays in its horror lane, right? So many of these horror films try to do comedy. You go back and look at all those awful Sony films that have been suffering through over the past year, 2 years. You look at a Thanksgiving, you look at a Hard Eyes, you look at those films and you're like, God, I just want to be anywhere but where I am right now. And this film, yes, it has the here comes the teenagers, they're going to get picked off one by one, but there's very little humor in there. It treats its premise with truth and a brutality that I was not expecting when I walked into this film. You know, I thought we would get, as advertised, the chimp run amok. Okay, yes, but there's one scene in particular here that is very Terrifier-esque. And it went further than I expected, and it works. And at that moment is when I really said, okay, this is much better than I expected it to be. Solid horror film, especially, again, for January. I also like the practical effects. I thought it was going to be a CGI monkey. No, it is a dude in a chimp suit. A little dude, obviously, but the chimp's head's a little bigger than it should be, right? But that works versus CGI. So you keep your costs down, you make it look cooler, and then you get those really well done practical effects, and all of that combines to make a very solid entry here for early in 2026. I will say there's an odd opening scene. Now, again, I'm not going to give this movie away, but I'm going to say that it pulls from later in the movie and it moves it forward. And when it goes down in the movie later, I'm like, that was such a weird choice. I would love to talk to the director of this and say, what was the reasoning here? My guess is that when Paramount saw the cut of this, they said, we want to make a scare off the top. And he's like, listen, it isn't there. So instead, they take something from later and move it to the very beginning. And I don't really love the choice. You'll get over it, but I'd love to quiz everybody involved to find out how and why that was made to happen. 87% on the MMT score.